Welcome to Grammar 3P. In this booklet, we'll be going over irregular action verbs, adverbs, and prepositions. So let's get into irregular verbs. We're going to look at the explanation page for this one. So here we have our little table of how to conjugate a verb. First, we'll go over past tense. For past regular verbs, you just add an ed to create the past tense. For irregular verbs, each of them follows their own set of rules, so we just have a list in the back for you to use if you're unsure as to how to make an irregular verb past tense. Present tense is a lot more straightforward than the irregular verbs. You simply add an S for a singular subject. For a plural subject, you don't add an S, you just write the verb without the to and the infinitive. So then for future, all you have to do is add will or shall to the verb and you're all done. In this book, we will have you write and identify different verbs and different tenses. So just make sure you're familiar with these. Once again, this should be review as it has been throughout this whole series. We'll also be going over prepositions versus adverbs. So once again, we're going to look at our explanation page. On here, we're going to remind ourselves what an adverb is. It's been a while since we've gone over adverbs, mainly because we've been focusing so much on prepositions and prepositional phrases. So an adverb is a type of describing word that modifies an action verb, not a noun, and can answer how, when, or where an action is being completed. Our example is, I sweep outside. Where did I sweep? Outside. Outside is describing the action of the sentence, whereas a preposition must be part of a prepositional phrase. We run off the trail. Off is the preposition that begins our prepositional phrase, off the trail. So you can see that some of these words may have overlap, but the preposition must be part of a phrase. It can't just be by itself like an adverb is. So let's look at a word that can be used in these two different sentences. So here we have the word beneath. The rabbit hid beneath. Where did the rabbit hide? Beneath. Or the rabbit hid beneath the rose bush, beneath being a preposition because there is a prepositional phrase beneath the rose bush. As we can see, bush is the object of the preposition. So it's important for you to recognize that a preposition will always be used in a phrase. It will never stand alone. And in this book, we'll be going over an activity that looks something like this. In the first few, we're going to ask you to identify the adverb or preposition by circling it, and eventually we'll add in things like predicate nominative and predicate adjective. Hopefully you remember those. If not, then go back to Grammar 3A and B and C and D. All of those should be helpful to you, and you can watch those videos as well. Once you've identified the function of speech, you'll come to the bottom, and if it's an adverb, you're going to write in the corresponding box how, when, and where to identify which type of adverb it is. For a preposition, you'll write the OP in the box, so you are kind of proving, yes, this is a preposition because there's an object of the preposition. Whereas with the adverb, you're proving that it's an adverb because you're telling us how it describes the verb. Whereas if you have a predicate nominative, you'll just write none because there's nothing that it's describing and there is no object of the preposition or predicate nominative. As you can tell, there's no diagramming in the explanation pages for this book. It's a lot of review, and we still have reference pages in the back for this series. So you can just refer to that if you ever have questions. And of course, you can watch any of the previous videos for more information. If you have any questions over this or any other grammar booklet, please contact the person who grades your grammar at your center.